What's going on? Welcome to the Throwing Tantrums podcast, road trip podcast edition. This is very low budget. We're using the phone and this, but hell, everyone on YouTube does this anyways, and TikTok and everything. We just finished the retreat at
Run seat people. What do you think about this weekend?
So, yeah, sure. Thoughts on this weekend? So, my hand is super shaky. We're still coming down from the mountain. So, there's a lot of twists and turns, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't get car sick. Yeah. So, thoughts on this weekend? I thought it was a lot better than I thought in terms of like how people received the activities, because my worry was like people having similar expectations and people not being as connected because they're like, oh, we did this last year, and they're like, eh. But I definitely like how the red black game panned out. I was I was uncertain on how people were going to receive it because it was new and it required making them wait on purpose and dragging the game out just on purpose to really push buttons to test patience. And it also showed how people would interact in certain situations based off misunderstandings, because I shared the rules, but people internalized it and interpreted a version of it in their head. So which happens frequently, to be honest, when playing this game. I know my team did it and a whole bunch of other teams did it. I think my leadership group actually was one of the few groups that got everything black.
Dang.
So
That's cool.
yeah, so but the way getting there was intense. Like people were like, there was people like Koki's like, we need to get the points. Like, but that's not those kind of things. So, and then I definitely enjoyed the additional layers of the child parent photo. That was last year we did the child photo, but this year we added a couple other things with Brandon adding a whole bunch of games, and then we just interweaved everything. But yeah, I thought the weekend was fun. Two things that really I noticed two people I noticed a lot in terms of like livening up was one, Melanie. Friday night I saw how exhausted she was from how life just like challenging her a lot. But the minute she did pop group, I was like, oh yeah, there's like the
life part.
The life again, life in the eyes again.
It's in the Lord.
And then second was Rebecca when we were doing the closing circle. Yeah, I'd never seen her like that lively. I mean, probably because I'm not that close to her, but like to us, yeah, I've never seen her like be vulnerable and be kind of almost bubbly.
So retreat was really, 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 really awesome. And I think we were talking about people coming out of their shells. So this year, Rebecca was so, like everyone was saying, like she was like way more bubbly, like way more open. I feel like way more vulnerable, and just because we see Becca and we're like, yeah, she's cool and like fuck everything and like, yeah, and edgy. And like there was just this very, very warm energy from her, and just like, I love you guys, but yeah, I love you too. So that was really, really fun. I think one of my favorite activities was us playing the sell your friend game on the black market. And and it was really cool because everyone, like when people would go, I feel like everyone just start to just ring in, and then we would get competitive and be like, ring, 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 ring. And then I'm like, I want to say mine first. No, I want to say mine first. And it was cool because everyone was so aggressively loving towards one another. God, this weekend was so much fun. There was definitely like highs and lows emotionally. And it was really, so my partner was Alondra, and it was really nice to like get to know her. She has this very like peaceful energy, and it was like cool to just like sit down and just like listen to her and like listen to her story and like, but like hold space for each other when we were doing the picture exercise where we were like, I like the drawing one and just like looking at our drawings and then like looking at our younger selves. It was like really cool to hold that space, even though we haven't known each other for a long time. When she said that, she told me, "You're doing your best," and it felt genuine. And like, even though like we haven't like really talked, like we just, when we got to know each other, and like her saying those words like really helped me and affirmed me, especially because words of affirmation are my love language. So it was really nice. It's like I gained like more friends. Yeah. So some thoughts on retreat. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the back seats.
This is your host, Brandon Burciaga, or Brandon B. Welcome to the back seat. Back seats, back. All right. Okay. So, Joey, what did you think about this weekend? And that was Joey. Thank you so much for...
Piggybacking to what Emroy said, I did see a lot of growth just from like the first day where we're all chilling out to like getting more comfortable because we were like with our own partner for the rest of the day till the end of last night, I guess, till this morning. And like, it's weird. The vibe is like, it was warm before, but now it just feels like closely knit. Like, these people have a secret joke, and then these people have a secret joke, and then they have secret jokes with each other. Like the one where they're just like doing all these good rounds after waking up from a nap. Like, what the? Then Lauren tried it, and it happened.
Spun up.
The pre-nap round. We're moving forward with that study, so we need some grants to prove that.
Are we fundraising?
Yes, for research for that. I'm done.
Thanks. Very down to do that. I'm very down to get money for sleeping. Let's get money for sleeping. Not easy.
Thank you so much, Joey Adams. Coming up next, we have Max. Well, I believe that was Max. It might have been a goat. So, Max, go ahead and tell us what you thought about this weekend.
So this weekend, as not a member of Tantrum, but like I've gotten to know everybody like through the countless Zoom meetings like during the pandemic, and you know, like my visits here before I like officially moved, and then now like with rehearsal, you know, I got to know like people and like make friends with them, and now I'm just like I feel a little closer to them, even though like I never really got to like participate in like the partner stuff, obviously, because not a member of Tantrum, but just getting to see people like be super vulnerable with each other, with their partners, and like all together as a group. I'm just like, aw, not a family, but close enough. But yeah, it was really fun. And then, yeah, it's just also getting to watch everybody just be so fucking talented while they're supposedly too tired, haven't got any sleep, and just woke up. The fuck? Or injured. The fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's fun. Thanks for letting me come along, guys.
Yeah. For the viewers out there, go ahead and you can snap at your snaps in there. With all my soul sisters. Let me hear your flow, sisters. Hey. Alright, just kidding. Alright, that was Max.
Yeah.
Thanks. So, my thoughts. It never gets old. Like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Idlewild has such a energy to it that it's really hard to compare it to anything else. And I don't know if that's because I'm tainted from LA or that's just who they are. But the energy, the people, everything there is just so warm and welcoming that it changes kind of like your intentions and the ambiance of things. So I think that alone as the premise is a nice base to start things off with. And the cabins are beautiful. They're all connected, which is awesome. And it just feels like home, you know, I feel like we're the damn Brady Bunch. We just kind of like all live in this big house together and have moments together. And I think a lot of these bonding things, although I didn't cry, not me, I would never.
So cute.
I would never cry. And if any of you have videos of it, you will die. You will die. But yeah, I definitely it's enough to make a grown man cry, but not this grown man. Get back in there. So yeah, I think it touches on so many things. And I think the hard thing that we as humans have to understand is you're not the only one. Like, you may think your story is so unique and so, individual, but it's really not. There's a lot of people who are struggling just like you, almost identically the same way. And they're not that far. It's not like, oh, somebody in Washington is like me. It's like, no, literally, people in this room are going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing as you. So it was really nice for people to connect on that kind of level and see vulnerability like blatantly in front of your eyes. So I really respect everybody's commitment. And let's do it again. Idlewild.
What were some of your guys' favorite retreat moments? Did we talk about that?
The jiggly butt.
Yeah. Jiggly butt.
Jiggly. Wait, how did it start? How did
Jiggle it out.
So last year we got in a circle and Eddie was in the middle doing the haka, and then we were all just like shaking our booties. And then this year we had to recreate that. And it was pretty funny because last year Emroy found us like doing it like pretty much like at the same time. And he was like, what are these stupid motherfuckers doing? And then at the same time, like clockwork, he's checking the cabin, and then he comes up to the window and he looks outside and he's like, God damn it.
Same time.
Same exact time.
Dude.
What's happening? Yeah. But this year, instead of Eddie doing the haka, it was Daniel doing his crazy seizure. Yeah, his seizure ticking, and it was wild. It looked like he was like possessed and he was a conduit. Yeah, he was a conduit for this new retreat energy. He was like, it was pretty crazy and awesome. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah. Daniel.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dapper and notably iconic.
To Westlake Institute.
Something. Dang it.
Something.
What is it?
Extraordinary. Incredible, extrauraordinary legend.
Yeah, like it. Yeah. That was fucking tight.
Right before he.
I'm about to spell it. It's the idol.
It's like my favorite retreat moments. Anybody?
Oh no, I said jiggly butt.
Yeah, jiggly.
And butter. Butter.
What?
I have two. My main one is the like QVC sell your friends, because in the beginning I was explaining it. Some people were like, okay, well, that's kind of weird, but sure. And then like literally maybe 5-10 minutes into it, people were putting on accents and doing whole things and like, hello and welcome back to QVC. I'm gonna be selling my friend Joseph here, and like, doing the whole bit. And I was like, I thought no one was into this, and now everybody's doing the whole thing, and then it lasted hours. I was like, okay, well, we got to cut these short now. But I think it was really cool. The reason I made that whole activity, I think a lot of times we don't talk as highly about ourselves as much as we should. So it was nice for people to kind of just, be reminded that you're dope. You're awesome in so many ways. And it's not just like, oh, you're a really cool dancer. Like, people went into details about you. And it wasn't just like you trying to be humble and say a few things. Like, people literally went on for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes about you. So I think that was a really nice moment. And then, of course, my favorite is seeing people just do these ridiculous freestyles is otherworldly. It's kind of weird, but it really, really is. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. And it happens for hours, because last night we were like, oh my God, we're dying, we're so tired. And then we went to bed at 4. That's a good track, fuck.
Ellie literally woke up and went off.
Yeah.
All did that. They all pulled that.
And it's funny because there's going to be some videos, but honestly, it's so weird because some of the moves that people did, I'm like, that physically doesn't make sense. Like I'm watching. It's like I'm watching a magic trick in front of me, and I'm like, I don't see. He had the ball in his hand, and now it's gone. Like, where did it go? I feel like it was like magic. I was like, which? But yeah, that's fine. Max.
Oh, hi. I mean, the one activity that I actually got to be a part of, the red-black game, was mildly interesting. Because, I mean, I kind of... mildly. Just mildly interesting. No, because, yeah, it was also like a... I was on the wrong... Who was on the wrong team? I was on the wrong team? I was on the right team. Right, Lauren?
Had a crazy time.
I had a great time.
Turmoil.
Oh, we were chilling. We were just twerking in between.
Yeah, like it was very collaborative. Noelle was a fantastic leader, and it's like I feel like she just stepped into the position like very seamlessly, and like she's very considerate of everyone. Very like, okay, this is what I think, but like, what do you guys think? And so it was very collaborative. There wasn't any type of division, to be honest. We'd have different opinions. There wasn't anyone at each other's throats. Yeah, there wasn't any resentment in our decision. It was, even if there were different opinions, we all would come to a consensus together.
Yeah, it'd be us too. Yeah. Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto. I would just say, okay, I'm not gonna lie, our group was rough. Our group was fucking rough. Stress ball changed to the max because one of my best friends is Koki, and he's in the company, and I love him. We've been friends and best friends for years, but he's a stubborn motherfucker. He is stubborn as shit. He's very, 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 very stubborn. And yeah, for him it's black and white, and I'm like, but there's gray. And he's like, no, there is not. So I feel like as one of the older members, being 25, how dare you?
Oh,
25, BC. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I've been through a lot of shit that I try not to let much stress me out. And Koki very much so lets things stress him out. So it was very evident during this activity that he's like, we have to win. What is the option of choosing black? There's no point of it. I was like, you're right, there is no point of it. But like, why be basic? It's like playing rock, paper, scissors and always choosing rock and never changing. Like, you could win or you couldn't, and it just could be really boring. And that's life. So it was really interesting because our group definitely had a huge division where it was like that awkward, tense silence that no one wanted to talk because we were upset with each other, and we're just like,
oh wow.
Can you
yeah.
the top on the difference of energies between the two teams?
For Noelle's group, when I'd go there, it just seemed like they were just casually talking, and like if I just gave them a bottle of wine, it looked like they were just having a casual discussion about everything, and it would just be like, all right, are we on the same page? Yeah. Who feels different? Why? And then it's like, okay, cool. And it's like kind of the consensus more often than not came quickly. And everyone, like with the exception of people going to the bathrooms, everyone stayed in the same place. Everyone was comfortable. Whenever I go back to Alondra's group, the first time I saw, like, the first few times, I saw Koki and Brandon and everyone just saying, like, what's the point? What's the point of it getting black? Like, why risk it? Why risk it? And like everyone's getting at each other's, yes, upset. Yeah. And then it was getting to a point where I saw people people just going to the balcony, and then I think at one point I saw Brandon cleaning instead, because
it's back.
Because apparently when Brandon's stressed, he likes to clean.
Well, I just like to be productive in general. So in my line of work, I tell my patients when they try to fight with me on the phone and they start yelling and screaming, I'll say, look, I'm respecting you, you respect me. If they can't do that, then I say, this is not going to be a productive conversation. I'm going to end this call. Or, and that's how I run my life. If it's not going to be productive, there's no reason for us to continue this conversation. So I explained multiple times, and mind you, I'm speaking. I explained it to Koki, but Koki's like, but no, it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, you're right, it doesn't. But this is what we're saying, and this is why. And it's really funny because I kept calm the whole time, and then he kept saying no until Alondra called him out, which I thought that was hilarious. Alondra goes, well, because I explained myself, and I forgot someone else did. And he's like, I just don't understand why you guys are choosing this. Nobody's saying anything. And Alondra goes, actually, I feel like, Koki, they have been saying everything to you. They've actually explained their reasoning why. I just don't think it's the answer that you want to hear, so you're getting upset. And I was like, yes, Alondra. And that's when he was just like,
With a very, very...
very common points, yes.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I just imagine it too.
That's when he started shutting down. He was like, that's fine. Yeah, we can just go with black, fine. I was like, okay. I mean, we got to the same answer, but he was just upset. And I was like, I'm so glad that somebody said that, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, we already explained everything. It's just not the answer that you want us to say. But yeah, so I think once the conversation was not productive and he was just going to be upset regardless. And then as we're sitting there in silence, just like, I was like, I'm going to clean. I need to be productive in some way, and I can't just sit here in like tense air. So I was just like, okay, let me know when he's back. I'll be cleaning up. And people were like checking out, vaping out in the balcony, walking away or on their cell phones. And I was like, all right, well, pick up your trash. Does anybody need any water or anything? Okay, great. I'll be right back. But yeah, that's what happened.
I was filming like the majority of us, like a Noelle's group. I was just filming like a majority of it, and then like, so probably you'll hear like snippets of just like conversations. We're just like doing some like random like speculations of like which direction they're going. Like, oh, but Koki's on their team. Like, he's gonna want to win. And Brandon's on that team too. He might also. We were just like, it's like okay. So if they go this way, they're most likely gonna go this way. And we were like, and then what we did was we ended up picking black first to like, we essentially kind of numerically, quote unquote, screwed ourselves, not knowing the actual rules of the game. But we numerically screwed ourselves, and we were just like, you know what? Let's show our hand early and see where this goes. So we essentially used it as a test as to what you guys would do.
Actually, I think that's really funny, because when you guys did do that, it threw Koki off, because that also didn't make sense to him.
Yep.
So he was like,
Figured.
why would they choose that? And I'm like, because it's not choosing rock every time, playing rock, paper, scissors. That's why. This is just because it's a change. And he's like, well, now. And I was like, you see how there's no point to this? Because then people started creating things, because even Joy was like, wait, what if they win? Do they get like ice cream or something?
Oh yeah, that's right. We wanted an actual.
And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, what if they get ice cream? And I was like, if they get ice cream and they win, then I'll get ice cream for all of us and I'll buy it. I was like, it's not a big deal. This is not even a serious game, you guys. And I was like, everybody's getting so mad right now, and this is literally a game about two colors. I don't understand why you guys are so upset. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
So I aligned with Koki more. Remember that?
Get out.
But
You were so aggressive, but like,
Quiet.
where Koki was aggressive, like, let's go. You're
Vocally, yeah.
like, no, let's win.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that was the thing. Like, we just this was the route to win, and I remember talking to Alondra, right?
Alondra.
Keep saying her name wrong. Alondra. I'm so sorry. My tongue doesn't work. We had like differing opinions always, but our first objective that was like decided upon is we hit red and we win. I mean, if both teams played the same like route, like the whole entire team would lose at the end, right? That's what we concluded. So it's just funny that both groups didn't get that instruction clearly, and that just changed the whole game from just like, well, shoot. We should have communicated better, because now it turns from like going against each other to whoever makes that first move to black to we're trying to convince the other team to do black to get the most points, which is crazy.
Also, what I will say, I thought it kind of funny. And the aggressive people that were like, no, fuck them, we're gonna fucking win. When they changed their color and they were gonna lose regardless, they're like, well, maybe we should choose a different color so they don't lose as bad.
Yeah,
Like those little.
I remember saying that.
Like,
I'm like, I don't want to like kill them off. Maybe like they leave with one eye.
Yeah. So they're like, well, instead of them losing at like -40, what if they just like have -10? Like they still lose, but it's not that bad. I was like, you guys, this is sick. Not that serious. It's going way deeper than what I would want to anything to connect to.
I just wanted to be funny and not like completely blow them out. Like I wanted to win, but like,
And the silence killed us, I'll be honest. Because there was multiple times that multiple members on our group were like, honestly, I'm not having that much fun right now. And I was like, yeah. We're like, I'm not really having that much fun right now, but like, I just want to get through this game and we can't get through this game. And I was like, yeah. I was like, we also can't like get an answer. So just say the answer and we have conversations in between. And that's what I'm saying. It got really intense. And I'm just like, oh my God, I hate everyone.
I definitely got the second part, like just try and get through this game.
Yeah.
So whatever manipulation of time you did to grow our stress, it worked.
It worked. Stress.
Yeah, so that worked. And then I also got, it's not that serious, right? Like we could just pick whatever and be done with the game and figure out like what's going on.
Yeah.
Everyone was waiting for like some sort of twist, and I feel like that's the time. That was the whole like.
There was a sort of twist, but it was like, here's what was said versus what was interpreted.
Yeah, I have a question then. Would you play that game where you give like a paper of the rules to the team, or it's just by word?
The way I played it was the rules were written out next to the board.
Got it.
So we had a little bit. Back then it was
You could see it.
You could see it, yeah.
So we had one of those big whiteboards that the right next to it were just the rules. And whenever we asked for clues or anything else, all they said was the rules, word for word. And then that's all we would get. And then they would, the way they delivered it would be very stern, which would just make us hide the emotions of not getting the answer and why.
Looking back to it, to be honest, like I didn't get the rules at first, and I totally relied on Koki's interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
I know I asked you a few questions, but those were relating to like twists and turns. I was like, it's correct, right? And all that. But I mean, yeah, I did rely on his interpretation, and it made sense. So, yeah. So I guess I should have asked for myself, like, can I hear it again?
That's one thing that I thought that was interesting, was that, like, when I played the game, we asked how many times love. But all they said was the rules, and it was never like, it was almost as if it was assumed that you're supposed to get it the first time. The wording was the wording to, again, word salad, which creates the interpretation.
Yeah.
And which is like, man, like, okay, as Sophia asked clarification within the way we went on this whole tangent of what do you think it was which created this, and then the whole point of it was to see the different egos that come out.
Yes.
I mean, that's one of the biggest points. So like, it's just like something so small. How can it affect just a simple decision of brown or black? And then how does that show up everywhere else?
That's the thing that I was trying to tell everybody. That was the fight in our group. The fight that Koki and I kept on having was, he was saying, well, what's the point? What's the point of you choosing black? You know, in order to win, you need points. And I was like, we're talking about two different aspects of this game. There is the point of the game, which is very different than points to the game. And I was like, I think getting points to the game is what you're focused on, but there's a point of the game that you're missing. And I was like, this is a retreat, so obviously it's not just like, hey, let's just choose a color and win. Like, there's something more, so I feel like we have to choose black to figure out what there is to find out about it. that doesn't make sense. I was like, yeah, correct. And he's like, so then if we get the black, we're going to lose points. Correct. And then what? I don't know. I don't know what happens next. We don't know. But that's life. Yeah. And he was just like, yeah, sure.
The thing that also that people were forgetting was that if we both choose black, then we both get points. So that was one aspect. In our group, it was like, okay, if we do red, then we don't lose anything. But if we do red, and then so we were trying to decipher a pattern. So then, like, there came a point where it's like, okay, wait, we're just all losing. But what if we actually if we do choose black and then they choose black, then we both start winning. So that was a thought process that we had. And it's like, there's a possibility of them choosing red and then they get more points than us. But then there's also the possibility of us both gaining points and both moving up together. So it was like, which one do we want to do? What's like, and if they choose red again, like, okay, like, sure, they might want to get more points than us. Yeah. But what if we keep trying to push towards black again? Will they change? Will we start trying to move forward and like both get points together? And that was the thought process that I know I had. And I know that some people were like, you know what? Like, we're gonna lose. Let's just choose black. Like, let's just keep doing it. Let's do it to spite them. Let's do it to gaslight them. Yes. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. So that was stay on the 10. Okay, come on. Keep that in there. Stay on the 10.
There's also like the purpose of the game was if you win, we all win. But it was very much, it goes to the whole thing of like, I'm gonna get mine. I want to get my point. So one thing that I was also very much looking forward to was when everyone went back into the room. Y'all were ready to fight. Like Brandon's group, posted up, but not like
Post up.
Yeah, like not ready to fight, but it was like you like, yo, what?
It was like, what?
Like, it was amazing to me. It's like, yo, yeah, you just like bonded with your partners with dancing. Within 30 minutes, you hate each other.
I will. You like there were like some people that were like, all right, yeah, they hate us. Let's go fuck them up. Yeah. And then there was also like some of the people who were like, yeah, we didn't want to choose red, but it's okay. We still love you guys. It was very sweet.
Okay. So, tell me what was on your mind when you guys went back into the room.
Oh, I mean, going back into the room, I kind of sort of imagined some form of like aggression because the way they were playing was a little aggressive. And so we were so we were ready. So like I had that in my mind already. So we were all like, let's just go in there and like gaslight them. So like if they win, we're gonna be like, well, we wanted to be united. We were about unity, which technically was the point of the game. So who won?
Also, we were united in the beginning.
United in anger.
Both picking red. We're both picking red.
Yeah, we were.
Then you changed our unity up.
Because we were testing you. We were testing you, and you failed. And you failed. Also, here's the thing. I thought, like, when you were basically, you separated the partners from each other into the two groups. So I was like, wait, why are you separating the partners? It's like, why are you separating the partners? You had them together this whole time to bond, have them to go to lunch together, and then all of a sudden, you're just breaking them up. And I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? There's something else here.
I will say there was one twist that I thought might happen. I was like, why is he telling us their answers and he's telling them our answers first? I was like, I bet you, what if the whole twist is he's writing opposite of what we say in the squares, but telling him, like saying like, oh yeah, they chose black when we told him red, just to piss the other one off and see what happens. And I was like, that might be. And then they're like, no, because he's putting it in an Excel sheet, it's happening live. And I was like, you're right. Damn it. But it might be, all right? And they're just like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, either that or I'd mentioned it before. The stairs. The damn numbers, because he was like, okay, what do the rules say again to get the most points? And I was like, well, if you're negative anything, you're still negative. And then Joey and I started having a conversation. And Joey's like, yeah. He's like, if you have no apples, then you can't give away apples. And I was like, yeah, so whether it's -1 or -100, you're still negative. So what if it doesn't matter? And then we all just like, and then Joey's like, yeah. And then we started getting really into it. And Joey was like, yeah, I remember in math class, like anything times 0 is 0.
I was like, now
And I was like,
my math teacher once said, everything multiplied by 0 is still 0.
and I was like, that's a fucking fact. You are right. Absolutely. And I was like, wait, that might be the twist, is that like, regardless, we're all gonna fucking lose. Whether it's -1 or -2,000, we're still losers. So I was like, that's the point. That's what we're trying to get to. And then it wasn't.
So you guys were talking
But-
about math in there, like specifically. And for Noelle's group, we were talking about game theory.
Game
We
theory.
were not talking about game theory. It's essentially either playing to win or playing not to lose.
It doesn't make sense. Just kidding. I was gay. But
I will say there was a point where thank you. There was a point where we were like, what? Our group thought the same thing. We thought, what if Emroy is saying one thing and then he's changing it and then we see it? So then we're like, so is it us against him? So do we need to jump him? So as a unit. So if we jump him and they jump him, then it's like all of us against Emroy.
Is that?
I think that's it. That's probably it.
So
But was that the point of the game? I'm kidding. No.
you know what that is? That's just PTSD from all the shit that Emroy does to us that we were like, actually, it's not even a game for us. It's his fucking game. He's trying to screw us over, and
He's playing with us.
we're part of his joke.
He's playing us.
PTSD. PTSD, everyone.
That's what tells us the rules.
I just tell you guys the rules. And like there was the option, like I'd like that you guys asked if you guys were going to be in the same room. But again, like the whole thing just of me walking in between, again, that's how I experienced the game. It helped prolong the time, but it also creates this narrative of why is there a middleman? Or like is like, which creates this, again, conspiracies to change that whole changes that whole thing. But also like it just, I wanted to see how each group reacted, because sometimes I'd hear you guys have your decision before, but I would stay with a group and then I would go to the other group, tell and say the response, and I wanted to see how they would react, if they would keep their decision or change it before finalizing things. Yeah. I was like, okay, still red, fuck them. That's what I would hear.
I thought you were gonna stay in the cabin with Alondra's group, and you had me staying with Noelle's group with my laptop, and we were like, doing the collaborative like on the Google Sheets thing, and I'm like, so why is he? Wait, am I supposed to do this? And I thought you were just gonna text me what thing pick, and I just put it on there.
Yeah, me too.
And then I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're walking between. Okay, so you're gonna text me? You're like, yeah, and then you just come back and you're like, okay, they picked black. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, it was because
So you did play a trick, didn't it?
no, I didn't plan a trick on you guys. Is because I wanted Max to play, but 2, I wanted to prolong the time. It was because it wasn't being written correctly. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna do it myself. But yeah, because we wrote down the points, I realized I didn't tell Max how to do it properly, and I figured, and then as I was doing it, I'm like, oh, this might make more sense. So if I just walk around and do it. But yeah, so what was going on in your mind when you found out the whole purpose or kind of twist at the end or reveal?
Irritating.
Like, God, dude, a stupid sentence, man.
It's semantics. It's all about semantics. I was irritated, I'll be honest. When it came, I was irritated because this seems to be a running thing in my life, and I have to understand and let it go. I am definitely someone that says something, and then it just goes over people's heads. And then someone else will say the exact same thing, and they'll be like, that's amazing. That happens all the fucking time in my life. So I said, like, I feel like there's more to this, and it's just kind of like a matter of how we're gonna work together, how are we gonna do this and that, and people were like, that doesn't make sense, yeah, blah, 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 aka Koki. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then when you were like, well, actually, I never said there's a winner, I just said who's gonna get the most points, and it was about how you guys are gonna react. I was literally like, this is so stupid. And I think the best, let me start this. I was irritated in the beginning, and then I was very pleased in the end, because I saw fumes coming out of Koki's ears of how, like, he was wrong. Like, he wanted to admit he's wrong, but he was just kind of like, and you could tell he was like, I hate this game. I absolutely hate this game. And I was like, but that's life. And it's funny because Koki and I have been friends for years. I always tell him, like, stop stressing out about that, or stop getting so upset about this, why you get so mad about that. And this game put that into perspective for him. So I was like, yeah, you got your ass served to you on a platter, and then giving out his samples at Costco. But yeah,
That's it. Get your ass sample. Get your ass sample.
What about you, Joey?
Man, I told you, I felt dumb, man. I was like, wait a minute, oh my god. If we both chose black. But they chose red too in the beginning.
Okay, so I felt a little dumb because, like, you were repeating the first line of the rules, where it's, you know, the goal of the game is to get the most amount of points possible. You kept repeating that every single time. I'm like, there's something there. I don't know what. And I'm like, this is a puzzle, and I don't know the answer, and I'm mad. But, like, I was like, you know what? Let's just play the game. And then, yeah, we were playing the game, and I think somebody did mention in our group that, like, what if we're supposed to work together with them? I'm like, okay, but how? Like, in my brain, I still didn't get it, but I was like, but how? And we still didn't get it either. Like, you know, like, how we're supposed to work together when we're, quote unquote, competing.
well, I think it did.
The thing that stood out to me in the rules was that if we both choose black, then we both earn points. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, so if we show them that we're trying to work together by choosing black, then maybe they will try to work together with us. That was my thought process. It was like, because we're like trying to anticipate, like, oh, like who's gonna want to, like, get the most points. But then that's, like, the biggest thing that stood out to me is that we could still get points if we both chose black. And so it's like, okay, we can still get points together. How?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, when
No.
I understood it as if we both chose red, like, no one moves. And then when I saw the negatives keep piling up, I was kind of confused. But I was like, no, I guess I get it. If they choose black, they're in a deeper negative. And then it's just, I should have kept that thought. That's it.
Wait, I have a question, Mal. Because you said you kind of relied on Koki's interpretation of the rules, what did he say to you specifically about the points?
So he said, red, no one moves. Black, red, someone loses 10, the other gains 5.
Okay. It's negative.
Yeah. I thought one's negative, one's positive for BR. And then red,
You both lose points.
both, yeah, points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what am I?
I think it's the fact that we're split into two groups, to the fact that one of us can go up and one of us can go down. That makes it seem like one of us is supposed to go up and then one of us is supposed to go down. But that was never stated. It was never stated that it was us against them. But the insinuation, because one would go up if one goes down, I think that's where that comes from. It's like, okay, if we can go up and then they go down. So then it's like people think, oh, it's a competition. But that's not necessarily true. It's not, it's like,
It just says Team A loses.
yeah,
Team B.
it's just the fact that there are two there, you think you're competing. But essentially, you're not.
It's kind of like that video or a meme or whatever I've seen where they're like, if you hit this button, we will give you $50,000, but one person you don't know dies. And people are like, If I hit it multiple, if I hit it multiple times, do I get 50,000 each time, or is it just the one? Like, some people are just like, oh, I can't do it. Some people are like,
Yeah.
like, like that, like, can I get more? So that's what it came down to, really. It was just like, no. Koki was like, well, this is how you win points. Why would you choose black when you lose points or you only get 3? When you get red, you will always get 10. I was like,
I'm hearing Koki now, right?
okay. I mean, yes. I think what really got him upset is in the beginning, we all said, that makes sense. Let's go red the whole game. On the first round, we all said that.
Yeah.
And then on the second round, we're like, wait, yes? And then we did it again. And on the third round, we're like, wait, that's kind of boring. And Koki got mad. He was like, you all said yes, and now you're all saying no. And I was like, well, yeah, but I think it's just because it's just make it interesting. Like, that's kind of boring. I mean, we could say all red, and he's just like, I just find it funny that you all were on my side, and now you're against me. And I was like, no one's against you. I'm just saying, like, this is boring. So that's one thing.
Mel, she talked about how when we chose black, essentially we were like, we were either throwing the towel or we were trying to work together. I think she said something like that. And then she was like, well, then if they're gonna do that for us, then we should do it for them. Like if
Give them points back.
yeah, either give them points back or do them a solid, because like why, like they had no reason to do that for us. So it's like now I feel like I should, like, I'm not necessarily obligated, but it's like I want to get back. So I thought that was super cool. Yeah, Mel just said that.
Alana said that too, but then Koki was like, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I remember that and what Koki said, and I just remember saying, no one's wrong in this group.
Yeah. I remember.
It legit, like, I think at one point someone said or 5 people said the same thing at different times, but confused at each other, and it was weird. It was really weird.
Semantics.
But yeah, I think by like round 5, I was just like, if we either go back to our usual strat or change it up. I mean, I guess we agreed on round 8, but for 6, 7, 9, 10, we're still like, do we still do our first strategy, or like, do we talk about it, hit red? And then we talk about it.
We would choose red to buy us time. So we couldn't decide like a for sure answer. We were like, okay, fuck it, just choose red so we can talk about this more. So it wasn't like yeah, let's go red. It was like, no, we talk more. So just choose red for now. We'll talk about it later. So that's kind of what ended up happening until like the 6th round, 7th round.
Yeah.
And then we're like, wait, we should just choose black because I don't think this is right. And then Koki got mad. And his head exploded.
But Emroy, I've experienced this game before. I realized that like after everything,
And we still lost?
guess where? Guess no, because
Get out of the car.
it's in an anime. In Classroom Elite, does anyone watch that? It's when the groups pick X or O, but there's a spy in one group in the show, and they're like trying to figure out, okay, well, the other team's guessing like the opposite of us. Why? And it's not in the point. I don't think it's in the point of view of the protagonist too. So you're just like, why are they losing? Why are they picking the other one? I think I have to re-watch it to confirm, but I think that's how it goes. So yeah, I've experienced
I
it.
think you should rewatch it so that you could learn something and we don't lose it.
Well, we can't.
No, we can. It's just called X's and O's.
But the thing is, your group won technically.
Yeah, I had the points.
Technically, the other group pushed us to victory, because if you guys didn't choose
You're welcome.
black, we'd be at the least amount of points. Yeah. I whispered it to you. I'm like, so if we both just stayed stubborn in our first like strategy, we get the least amount of points available.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a good thing they hit B's. But why?
What's the point?
What's the point?
Love you, Koki.
Yeah, we misunderstood the
I thoroughly enjoyed this. The first time I tried this on my own, like, was with family business. It didn't go as planned because because I don't think I facilitated it too well. But yeah, definitely I enjoyed this. Everything that happened in between with the interactions, it was exactly what happened to me, and I'm glad. As much as it sucked, I'm glad it happened to you guys too, because it was part of that growth. But yeah, turmoil tantrum.
Trauma tantrum.
Illiterate. That's
So what did you do with FanBiz that you feel like you did that you didn't do here, or what's something that you did here that you didn't do with FanBiz?
I think for me, it was primarily like a proper space. You guys were in 2 different cabins. With FanBiz, it was like one with some people in the bedroom and some people in the fucking living room. But then people would need to go take a piss, and then they would see. And we had boards back then, and it would be in the middle of seeing everything. And I just didn't like how it was ran. It just didn't hit the way it did here. In terms of like, because a lot of people were more like, "Oh, this is dumb. Why are we playing this?" So, but definitely, I mean, I feel like people eventually got to that point of like, when they were frustrated, they would check out. But yeah, this is why I tried to avoid, for those watching and listening, like I had told the board that I wanted to play this game for like the past month or so. And it's one of those games, like, once they know the game, they can't really play it again unless they forget about it completely, because now they know how to win. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about? Retreat? No?
We talked about Red Blanket.
Yeah, we
an hour.
yeah, about an hour and a half. I mean, so okay, dude, I almost feel like there's other opinions from everyone else. I want to. Maybe we should make a dedicated podcast to freaking Red Black. Share his. Yeah, that's fair. So okay. What about the additional stuff? The additional activities, like we did the drawings, and then incorporating that into the whole cathartic experience. How did that feel?
The drawing I thought was really cool because it was my idea, so it was fucking amazing. Like, honestly. No, I think it's really cool because it's just an adjective, so like that could be anything. Some people I saw drew people they know. Some people I saw drew like superhumans. Some people I saw drew memes. Some people
I saw that.
like, I'll be honest, I drew a rock because I recently heard a song, and the lyrics of the song were really, 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 really touching. But it said, "After the fire's burned, after the wind's blown, after the water's dried, you'll still find stone." And I was like, damn it, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking amazing. And she's like, even things that happen, they'll find scars in the rock, they'll leave scratches, but it's still a stone. So to me, I'm like, that's kind of resilient, and I'm not a drawer, so I was like, oh God, my partner is literally an animation person, so I was like, ah, shit. And it's just a rock, but like, it was a really bad rock, and I was like, oh fuck. And I know I did, I'm sorry. I was like, fuck. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I know you're gonna see it in a second. And she's like, wait, what? I was like, I'm not supposed to really talk to you right now, but like, my rock's really bad. Don't laugh. And she's like, it's fine. Like, just look at your. And then she looked and she goes, she kind of like that. And I was like, damn it. And she's like, no, it's a beautiful rock. It's a beautiful rock. And I was like, said the animation star, get the fuck out of here. And she's like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
She'd be like, can you put some eyes on this?
But yeah, things mean different things to people. So the interpretation was really cool. And I mean, I cleaned up the trash in the end, so I saw people's drawings throughout the time. So picking up the trash here and there, I was like, what is this? Wow, that's amazing. And I don't know, it's something different. We don't really draw and do too much with our hands. It's a lot of talking, it's a lot of dancing, a lot of movement. So I think tapping into another kind of art, if you will, was something new for us. I don't know, maybe we can do like a sip and paint or something for like a temper tantrum versus sip and paint.
No, that's one of the original ideas of
Yeah.
Oh,
shoot, is it?
well then there you go. I just don't make me draw a rock.
I love the fact that the activity that came after everybody crying was between 2 lines. It's like we're gonna cry, and now we're gonna yeet each other between these two lines of rope. And it was great. Okay, so what? How long did it have? 20 minutes? Plus, like, the extra you gave them? It was... Brandon.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's always life. Always life. Wow, you have to just accept it and move on.
Like, Brandon wanted to do the stairs, his Coki's piece for the set that they've been working on had like a human staircase kind of thing, and they were like, oh, what about the stairs from Coki's piece? And no one listened.
I was
Brandon
literally on my knee like this.
Brandon
I can
was
help
already
somebody over.
on all fours, just ready, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking dive roll workshop happening.
Everybody's like, wait, I'm an acrobat. I'm on fucking Cirque du Soleil. And I was like, why are we? I could just lift. Let's go. What
And then after like the third or fourth person to go through, like not successfully go through, Noelle goes, can we just like not do this workshop and then do the stairs? And everyone's like, yeah. And then
it's like, oh my God, it's so easy. I was like, I'll be in the back. I'm just going to go to the back. Y'all can get across. And then in the end, I was like, you know, honestly, I'm not going to do too much work because I'm kind of over it right now that no one did anything. And then now we're all doing this. And then Emma's like, well, we have 5 minutes left. And everybody's like, oh God, what do we do
let's do
now?
the stairs.
So I was like, I'm just going to plank, catch me. And I would literally just going to go.
I think someone else too was like, it didn't make sense. I forgot who it was, but they were like, what? Like when you were like, you're gonna plank me, and you're just gonna carry me over, and they were like, what? And I'm like, I saw it, but I'm like, I can't really just say it.
And then they did it with me, and they're like, oh God, that was so easy. And I was
Yeah.
like, we should just have everybody plank. We have 2 tall, strong guys.
Yeah.
Let them plank and carry them across. Nope, we're gonna do this. And then the last person, we hit the damn string. We had to start all over again. And I was like, over this.
Oh,
And which one?
the
Crystal?
yeah.
Crystal was like, I can do this. She literally hit like both strings, the TV, the couch, the wall. I was like,
The whole house.
the whole house came down. And I was like, okay, well, that was the last chance. And then we had to go back. And I was like, okay, you guys, just plank it and carry people over. Nope. And then halfway through it, somebody was like, what if we just plank? And then they could just like carry them over. And then they're like, no. Oh, that's actually a really good idea. Then I started doing that. And then Daniel, they're like, well, Daniel, I don't know. How are we going to carry him over? I was like, it's fine. If you just carry him. Daniel's like, I don't really want. And all of a sudden,
Okay.
Justin was like a baby, like a sweet bebe. Like a little bebe. He just carried him over. Daniel's like, oh, this was easy. And I was like, I hate everyone.
Okay, so Daniel was just like, I'm long, and then someone was like, yeah, Daniel's long, yeah, but he's long, but he's gonna be this way, not this way.
Like, it's flat. It's like a damn pizza. You put it in a damn oven. That's it. Nope.
Like he's gonna be long this way, so he's gonna be fine as long as he like stays plank, like flat. And I'm like,
The stupid thing is we actually did it with 7 seconds to spare.
Okay, so you guys did it. You guys got pretty close. You finished. You were close the first time around 15 minutes. Then that's when Crystal hit, and then you get and then I think the last time you guys did it was 14 minutes. So and then you guys had to do it again and managed to get everyone across except Justin, and then he hit it, and you guys were out of time. And then I offered, okay, like one redemption round, 5 minutes to do it again, and then
they did what I said.
and then they
The very beginning in the first game, they did what I said. If it made it in under 5 minutes, I was like, I literally hate everybody here. Please let's go have dinner because I don't want to talk to anyone. I was like, I just can't. I cannot. Absolutely hate it.
I do love the fact that like, you know, it was like, okay, so Koki goes last. I'm like, that should have been the idea the whole time. Like the person that's like reliably able to make it across without any help should be last.
What we were thinking was, okay, well, we need someone to get over there so that we can get people over there. And then once we started getting a system of, oh, okay, like, okay, now we can get these people over. Now we can get these people over. And then it's like, oh, and then it was like, okay, well, now that we know how to get people over, now the person that we know who can get over without anyone, okay, there we go. So it's like we like Tarantino'd it which isn't like the greatest, but hey, we got there, and thank you, Brandon.
And everybody was celebrating. They were like, "Yay, we did it under 5 minutes, Brandon!" And I was like, "No, I don't want to high five anybody. I don't want. No, I am not excited. I am not happy."
Brandon's like, we could have done this in the first round without the redemption round.
This team's unique.
To say
to say the least. Like, well, one, like going back to just acknowledging the powerful women just leading, especially the ones that were quiet last year. To speaking of this year, but also this is the only team that I've worked with that fucking yeets themselves relentlessly, solo or as a group. Like, I've like prior to this, of all my years of doing this, I never saw it leading to a dive roll workshop.
look what you did.
And then at the end, multiple times, after seeing that you guys can't dive roll all at the same time or successfully, you guys still try to do it via Crystal and Justin.
Why?
So
That's all. I don't.
and
Like, I did this last year, yeah, but like there was only one round.
yeah, and then the what everyone has usually done, every group I've led over the line, the last person is usually yeets themselves into everyone's arms.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So so that way they can jump straight but still like not touch the line, and then, but still be safe, but still be caught.
Like that made me way more sense. We're just like, get a line out of the way,
I'm like, you guys work together so well in the middle, but at the end you're like, all right, fuck, you're on your own. You said you can get over.
Everybody's just like, fuck it. Cirque du Soleil is not that much different than what we do, right? And I'm like, actually, it's very different. And everybody's like, yeah, fuck you.
The hardest part is like either getting the last person or getting the first person, because you're like, how do I just throw someone over there? And like, I think that's the mindset, like being in it and doing it. And then because what I thought when I was like, oh my God, there's two people left. One can like go over like this, and then the last person can like piece them through, and then maybe we can kind of do the same thing, like, or they could just like choke and we could catch them. And then we were like, oh yeah, Cookie can dive roll. And you're like, oh, you're right, man. You're right. So I think it's always the first part of getting someone over or getting the last person.
Oh, I have something after.
Yeah, I assumed once we found out that Koki could,
Himself.
yeah, fucking dive roll. And yeah, to what Lauren's saying, yeah, I feel like people were just trying to figure out like who could go over so that we can have assistance there. And once we figured that out, I was like, okay, so Koki's gonna go to the other side when it's the last two, help the other person, and he'll yeet himself over. It's easy, no problem. And then there's Crystal. And then she was like, I'm ready to yeet myself over. Then like, Crystal, are you confident? She said yes. And the group was like, oh, okay. And she turns to Justin. I don't think you can carry the plank people. Are you sure you can carry him? And Justin, next 5 minutes. Yeah, dude. By himself. No breath. Just like one of those.
Was talking about it was like, just the fuck up.
I know. It's like
Literally on like the last 50.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
We can't do it, then.
yeah. So I appreciate the confidence, Crystal, but
I would like to add something to this. It just hit me right now, and I'm even more upset.
Oh.
The fact that people are trying to think of like, okay, we can just like Magneto it over, or like, wait, we're trapeze artists now, and they actually tried it, knowing that the skill is not there.
Yet.
Every time. Yet in Red and Black, they're like, no, this is logical. I'm like, now you want to talk about logic? We're talking about logic about a game that has no fucking rules other than just we have to gain points, and people are like, no, it's black, no, it's red. That's when you're logical, but the actual like physical things, you're like, that's okay if I die, let's just try it. Like, that's not logical. Damn it, now I'm even more mad. I'm not coming back.
Okay, Lauren brought something up. It's like, because when you're in it, like because here's the thing. I was just looking. I was just watching. So like, as soon as like everybody was like going over, and I'm like, oh, maybe Koki should go last. Damn, maybe Koki should have gone last, because like Joey could have Joey could also like reliably go over, so he can go first. But Koki can also do that. He didn't eat. He went like eat, but it worked. It worked. So I'm like, okay, one person who can reliably over, and then the last one should also be able to reliably do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not in this. This is probably why I'm able to like just sit and be like, yeah, no, Koki should go last. Yeah, but because if I were in there, I would be like, I'll eat myself too.
I can't. Logic
Goes away.
Handicap, if you made the people watching lead.
Oh yeah, that is dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
Two people sat out. Besides me, two dancers sat out for the two injuries.
Not from retreat.
Stop retreat.
Pre-existing and let's not talk about that one. Pre-existing injuries before the retreat. But yeah, I was just like, oh, that would be fun though.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Great.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm still mad. I'm not coming back.
So what's it gonna be next year? A triangle? Like what?
No. We're not doing the
There's three.
You gotta stake them over the top gap and then the bottom gap back.
It's gonna be something stupid like, all you gotta do is climb these 3 stairs. So they're gonna like, great, okay. So if we slide from the top of the fan, and like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do that.
And we parkour off.
Yeah. We can rent up there.
In terms of that, I mean, the over the line has usually been a pretty good one, but I'm open to different ones. But it's always, even though it's like the retreat, even though it might be the same exercise, might be a different cast, and it might end up being a different result. I was gonna say safety, but because, like, even though I might want to do between 2 lines again because you guys needed to get an extension.
Yeah, I
I think we should.
And because I might want to do like that, like in terms of a final group activity, and it meets our budget. I wouldn't mind doing between 2 lines again because, again, like the retreat, just because we're experiencing it again doesn't mean it's going to be the same outcome. And technically, you guys had to get an extension to beat it, and to beat it with 0 handicaps. So, yeah, it's like there is like big like ideas that I'd like to do. Like I was sharing it on breakfast. Like I'd like us to eventually do a ropes course, where like one of the exercises. Obviously, this is all with a professional group. One of the games, I can tell you everything because once you're there, it's gonna be like, oh fuck. Anyways, so one of them is called Leap of Faith. So you like see these telephone poles. You're climbing about that high, and then you have to jump probably like 2 feet in front of you to hold on to like a trapeze bar. And then the whole point of it is just, well, can you hit the bar? Huh? Yeah, you can hit the bar, like, and then, but ideally you want to be able to grab onto it, and then you're lowered. But you are harnessed the whole time. That one is more like an individual, like facing your own fears, doing the climb, but can you jump? Like, because when I did it, even though there was like 20 other people down there, I could barely hear them. I could barely hear the cheers. All I heard was wind, the shaking of the fucking pole, and then the fucking trapeze thing right there. It was not far, but my legs were shaking so goddamn much, like I couldn't, like, it felt like I was alone, even though if I just looked down, they're like, oh, they're fucking right there. It looks like 100 feet away. So, and then I did my jump, barely touched it, but it was fucking invigorating. And then another one huh?
You missed it?
I got it, but it didn't hold on. Yeah.
You got whiplash off?
No, it was more like when you grab, like when you're trying to reach for a monkey bar from jumping and you kind of slip.
Oh.
Yeah. Then another one that I enjoy. That's where I also learned about between two lines. When we did it, I didn't get through. We didn't finish, and it was, and there was no padding. It was on rough dirt.
Oh my god! Oh wow! Did you get big speech?
Huh? No extension. This company and like the program I was in was very rigorous. So if you didn't make it, you didn't make it. And another one is this partner V out. So like, imagine same thing, telephone lines that high, and then the telephone wires are kind of going out this way. You're holding your partner. It's partner work for this one. So for this one, I'm gonna put this in between my crotch so I can hold my camera up. But like what you're doing is with it, you're holding. So again, you and your partner are on essentially telephone wires tied up or tied rope, and then you're say at the base and it goes out. You're holding hands with your partner, and you go further and further. You go to this. It's like that at birthday girl. Yes, exactly that. But it's fucking frightening, because when you're just on that line, you're fucking shaking from all the fear. And another one is like going. It's a simple one, like climbing over a wall, with the whole group.
Okay.
But 20 minutes, and then I'd say the wall is probably not that tall, but yeah, but like it was. We got everyone except the one tall guy. Like the one tall guy, and then everyone was holding on to him. Like if someone was grabbing his pants, like this guy's back pocket, ripped his fucking pants, because we because we couldn't get him over, and we were close, like so close. Like you know how every you can get involved in the game, or even though it feels trivial, like you just want that win. Yeah.
All right.
So
my idea.
what's your idea?
I told you my idea is gonna happen. This is how it's gonna run. We're gonna do it at a beach house next time, and everybody's gonna be like, "Ha ha ha! We're gonna do over the line again. Are we gonna do over the line again and like eat each other?" I'm gonna be like, "Ha ha ha!" Actually, if you notice, one of you is missing. I have tied him up and buried him neck down in the sand and the shore of the beach. High tide is coming soon. Find him and unlock the chains, and then just walk away.
But I also
No questions. No. And
I volunteer.
Be brief. It's just that.
Yep. And that's it. There's no help. But yeah. So no help. No like, but this, but that. No. I gave the directions. There's somebody buried, and the tide is coming. Find them, and then walk away, and then
I volunteer.
and that's it.
First, over the prep for dinner.
But but first, you must play red and black,
Oh no!
Wow.
and watch they still lose. Right, Joey.
Huh.
Joey did bring up a really cool modification to etheric body and value. What if you did value while doing etheric body? If you were a value of 1 and you ciphered,
Right.
but you get no hype. If you get, like, you know what I'm saying? I just think it's a great mix up on that. So for those guys listening, etheric body is a type of non-verbal communication that allows people with our dancers to connect through dancing in short, and value is a game using a deck of cards, and you treat the person according to what value they have according to the card, whatever. So yeah, I think that'd be a fun mix up. But yeah,
Or if you just go in the cabin and then just go, I hit a bomb somewhere. Find it.
Oh my god!
Find it, cut the right wire, and everything will be saved. If not, we'll have a new company next year. And walk away.
and then that's like a hidden message because you said cut the right wire, but they think it's the correct wire, but it's actually the one on the right.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question. Back to red and black.
Oh my.
Joey. How many new members did we get this year?
That are here? or in general?
I guess I went to retreat.
3.
3. What if the new members are on their own squad on red and black, and we pick black, and then watch them squirm and like, why did they pick? Why did they?
You want to play psychological warfare? No, yeah, it's just to the game.
Oh, dear God.
Technically, if they pick black, they'll be like, oh, okay, they're chill, all the way through. That's true. I take it back.
Sewing this.
What were you talking about before?
We're talking about still. I don't know. Potential upcoming.
Oh, right, the etherical card.
I don't know. We might change up the venue for where we stay. I do love Idlewild, but I just think it's nice to change scenery once in a while. So, beach house or Joshua Tree, or Joshua's house. So, all right.
Like and subscribe.
They take Bitcoin.
Thanks for watching. Yes, we apparently take Bitcoin now. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Oh, no, JT.